Hey everyone, it's the first Rockstar Minute of 2020 and I'm Tom Karadza, and we're going to cover some news that's going on in Canada right now. Canada's biggest banks are talking about the stress test, and some of them are talking about having caution with the stress test, because I want to read you this one line from this article. What are we, the Financial Post? That says this, and I guess it's the Prime Minister has asked that the stress test be adjusted, and here's the comment. The stress test certainly delayed purchases. It caused consumers in Canada to look at less expensive homes and to adjust their desire for the cost of the home they're purchasing. And I think we have to be a little careful on how we adjust it, but if done in the right way and with the right objectives, it can be achieved. That sounds all like kind of double talk, like the Canadian banks don't want the stress test adjusted, but maybe it can work. So sometimes I think the banks, and I really have no proof of this, but sometimes I think they say one thing because it plays well in the media, but really they want other things to happen, like they want Canadians to get more mortgages because it's so profitable. But anyway, that's in the news. We should all be watching about the stress test and what happens. But the real news to us over the last few months is that subprime lending is back in the US. We had a friend come up and visit us from Florida a few months ago, and he told us about subprime lending being back, and we were like, what are you talking about? We don't hear about that at all. And he told us that it's been rebranded. So we did a little digging and we found some incredible data on this stuff. We're gonna put up a chart on subprime lending before 2009. So we'll show you the volume in 2008. And now we're about to show you the volume since 2008. Take a look at that. Subprime lending is back, and the reason that we haven't heard of it is they call it non-QM mortgages. So they're calling it like non-qualified mortgages. They don't refer to it as subprime anymore. And I want to read a quote from one of the articles. It says, "The loans have been rebranded. Largely gone are the monikers subprime and Alt-A, a type of mortgage that earned the nickname liar loan because so many borrowers faked their income and assets. Now they are called non-qualified or non-QM because they don't comply with the post-crisis standards set by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau for preventing borrowers from getting loans they can't afford." This is blowing my mind. How is there mortgages going out that don't conform to the standards that were set in place to avoid the financial crisis in 2008? Like, I don't even get it. Anyway, we're gonna have links to the article, to these articles in the comments, so you can check it out for yourself. But I want to put one more chart up there. So this chart is from the St. Louis Federal Reserve, and it shows the Federal Reserve's balance sheet in the U.S. So when you look at this chart, there's a couple things to make note of. If you look at the time between 2008 and about 2018, you can see that's QE1, QE2, and QE3. So when the Federal Reserve bought a lot of these bad assets, their balance sheet increased, and that's what we're seeing there. And then they tried to decrease it over the last year or so. But if you look really recently, it's now turned again and it's going up. Why is the Federal Reserve back in the market buying assets, and specifically they're playing in what's called the repo market? Why are they back in there playing with stuff if there's no problems in the financial system? Are we seeing the formation of more problems in the financial system right now? Time will tell. We're going to be monitoring this stuff. We're going to be talking about all of this stuff at the upcoming Your Life, Your Terms event on February 8th. So we'll have a lot more to share. Hopefully that gives you something to think about. Until next time, your life, your terms.